Taurus, thanks for joining me. This is your astrology for February 2016. It's really nice to be with you. I'm going to give you the forecast of every day pretty much that's coming up in February and how the astrology is going to be influencing you. So the 1st of February starts with a sextile between Venus and Neptune. Venus is your ruler, so whatever it does is kind of important to you. And you're really going to be feeling very much aligned with and very much into what it is you're learning, the new information that you're working on, what's coming in, what's going out. There'll be a real sense of growth and like you're on the right track. It will also feel like you're on the right track to really achieve your hopes and dreams, whatever those might be, if it's relationship goals or working goals, but you really start the month with a sense of optimism and feeling like you're doing the right thing. Venus then starts to square Uranus on the next day. And this is interesting because Uranus causes you to kind of think for yourself and rebel and to want to do things on your own kind of, from your own kind of sense of this is right, this is wrong. So you're really very much certain about your beliefs and values and want to take action on those. And with this connection with Venus and also Pluto and Mercury here in your 9th house, it means that you feel very clear and certain about what you're doing with your work and what you're studying, okay? So there's no room for being contradicted. I don't think you're going to be very tolerant to that because it's going to be all systems go. You're going to be marching to the beat of your own drum. And if family or friends and relationships kind of interfere with that, I don't think you're going to be particularly tolerant, and I think you might be a little bit irritable if people just kind of upset you or kind of put obstacles in your place. So make sure to surround yourself with positive people who are supportive, because I really don't see that you're on the wrong track here. I think you can trust your feelings and you are doing the right things that you're meant to be doing and that feel like they match. So keep doing that. The Moon and Saturn, they are conjunct on the 3rd of February and they connect with the Sun and your midheaven and also Uranus to create what I call a triangle of harmony where things just flow naturally and easily. Some of your new ideas, some of the things that you're certain about, if you implement those into your working life, you can really either save the business that you're working for a lot of money, you can make a process that's already in place more effective, you can make something that seems very complicated clearer, but it's in your power to really improve something here. So put that action in. It's a very good day for you in terms of your career. So show up for work, make a note of what you're doing on this day and really see where you make the most progress. Make a note of that, write that down, keep it for, if you're applying for a promotion in future or if you're looking to progress, keep record, evidence that you've helped the business and that you're valuable and that you make a positive contribution, because you do, especially on the 3rd of February. So far that's the best day for you work-wise. There's a Grand Cross in your chart on the 4th, and Grand Crosses are always when you feel a little bit frazzled, you feel pushed and pulled in every different direction. You may feel that something that was disappointing in the past kind of raises its head again. It may make you feel grateful for where you are. Something comes up in relationships and you may feel like, oh my God, people are making a lot of noise today, and it might be like you're firefighting a little bit, trying to placate everybody and trying to keep things calm and peaceful. Be really nice to yourself on the 4th. Remember that you can't change your whole life in one day, and just take it step by step. Don't try and be everything to everybody, it won't work. On the 5th, there's a T-square in this chart, and there's an opportunity for you to amend a past disappointment in your working life through the practical action that you're taking on this day that really bubbles up from inside of you, information that comes from within. This in the tarot is like the Hermit card. It's like light, shining a light on your inner self, and all the answers that you'll ever need are there. That's not always the case, sometimes we have no idea what we're doing, but on this case, the best answer comes from within, and it'll be I personally feel that it'll be an opportunity to make something better in your working life, but there's also scope for you to make something better in your romantic life. So this is a kind of dual day, real opportunity to overcome an ongoing obstacle or burden both in your money, career life, and also in your romantic love life. Okay, so really, really positive start to the month. On the 6th of February, there's a yod in your chart, which is known as the finger of God. It has kind of these karmic implications. And this connects your Moon and Mercury in your 9th, your ability to learn and to discover, your frustration that you're feeling when it comes to other people a little bit, and how to make things better. So you're not only the peacekeeper in the first week of February, you're also the person who implements things that help and that make things better. You know, sometimes you can be at work or you can be in a situation and you can think, God, this doesn't really work. I wish someone would take care of it. Well, you're the someone who is going to take care of it. And again, remember to make a note of that, because when you help a business or you help a relationship or something, you're genuinely contributing something, and make sure that that's acknowledged. That people are like, oh yeah, well done, you know, let's move on to the next thing. Just realize that you are making a contribution, because that's going to be helpful for your own self-esteem, how you feel about what you're doing, that you have power to affect change. Those are really, you know, nebulous kind of concepts, but you have to take note of them, because a lot of people do suffer from low self-esteem, and what I've noticed is that they don't value their own achievements a lot of the time. And the beginning of February is full of your own achievements. The new moon appears and occurs on the 8th of February, and the new moon happens in Aquarius in your 10th house. The new moon is when the moon is totally black, it pulls in new energy, and it pulls in Aquarius energy in February. It's in your 10th house, so it pulls ideas into this career sector, giving you energy and motivation to perfect, to improve, to make better your working life, your career situation. And I don't really feel for you, Taurus, in February that there are going to be major upheavals, that you're being pushed to change your job. What I'm getting is that you're meant to improve your existing job, and that you really make a lot of progress in that area. So far, the month looks fabulous for you in terms of your career and your working life. On the 10th of February, the moon starts to conjunct Chiron, and that then forms an area of motivation and friction with Jupiter and your rising sign. This is the best day so far for romance. And if you're trying to make up with someone, if you've had a falling out, if you've put your foot in it, or you got someone a toaster oven for their birthday, something like that, which the other person really didn't appreciate, and you want to make up for it, you want to make amends, pick the 10th. The other person will be receptive. Any practical action you take will come across very well, will come across positively, and you'll be able to express yourself in a way that's in line with how you truly feel. So this is a really good day also for, I suppose, family relationships where things have been difficult. You really can make them better. On the 12th, Chiron stops connecting with your rising. So that open window of being able to amend relationships and to kind of tweak emotional connections somewhat, that comes to an end. So if you're interested in doing those kind of things, do it before the 12th. Things become much more rigid and solid and stable from the 12th onwards. The moon begins to square Venus and Mercury on the 13th of February, and the moon is really very, very, well, it's at 0 degrees in your first house in your sign of Taurus, okay? So you're going to feel very, very much like you know what you're thinking, you know your own feelings, you know what's going on, you feel like you're in a place in your life where things make sense. And that then causes some friction with the communication planet and the love planet in your 9th house of growth and expansion. So there's a push and pull between, I'm happy the way things are, I just want to relax and do things my way and just chill and just enjoy the good that I've got in my life, and the ongoing push to constantly improve yourself, to learn more things, to learn more skills. To be honest, either one, whichever you decide on this day, whether you want to have a day where you just have a break. I mean, the 13th of Feb, what day is that? It's a Saturday, okay? So you can either take the day off and just really enjoy all the good things in your life, friends, family, go out somewhere, have a nice meal. Perfect. If you do want this ongoing self-improvement, especially when it comes to work, that also has a lot of potential. So you really have the choice here on the 13th. Mercury goes into Aquarius on the 14th, so the communication planet is now in your 10th house, adding to this ability that you've already got to perfect your working life. And don't get me wrong, I know there's no such thing as perfection, but when I say to perfect your working life, you can really make improvements. You can make things better. And that's your biggest gift so far in February that I see, that you have this ability to apply yourself to make things more harmonious at work. And also on the 14th, there's a grand trine in Earth. And that's a real talent for taking practical action. You may discover that you have some skills that you either weren't aware of, or an opportunity for training, for learning, for honing your skills appears, but it's something practical. So it's not that you get some clairvoyant insight or visitation, something practical appears. Either your line manager says, okay, do you want to go on this training course? Or you get a letter in the post, or you get some sort of practical, concrete message that things are looking... No, not looking up, because things are very positive already, but that there's a new door of opportunity that you can walk through. On the 16th, the moon opposes Saturn. And again, it's that push and pull between what am I doing in the institution that I'm a part of, whether that's work or whether you're a pensioner and it's the community you're a part of, and this question of what can I do for myself that will really make me happy rather than following what other people have set out for me. That's a big question for you, you know? And in February, when you focus on your power, your control, what it is you can change and what you can affect, you're going to feel better about yourself. So it doesn't mean you have to kind of say, okay, you're telling me what to do, there's the door. You don't have to be that extreme about it, but you can say, okay, well, thank you for sharing, and I've got these ideas which I'm going to do. And I think if you follow your own ideas, you're going to be much more pleased. So please yourself. Please yourself. Venus goes into Aquarius on the 17th, also in your 10th house. So you've got 4 things in your 4th house now. 4 things in your 10th house, rather, sorry. You've got your Sun, you've got your transiting midheaven, you've got your Mercury, and you've got your Venus, all in Aquarius in your 10th house. 10th house represents work in your career. And Aquarius represents the innovator, the humanitarian, and the person who really looks at the facts and makes things better. And you have the strength and power to achieve all of that. Also, we're in the time of Aquarius here. It's the age of Aquarius, if you want to look at this in terms of thousands of years. But also, it's the month of Aquarius because the sun is in Aquarius. And the sun, the energy, that's... the sun is it. You know, if it wasn't for the sun, none of these other planets would even show up because we couldn't see them. So that sun is in your 10th house. You're super, super energized in terms of your career. That is your biggest gift in February. And that's what I would urge you to focus on. And I wouldn't suggest that you take a lot of time off because you can affect so much positive change. And it's always a good idea to use good energy like this when it appears. Okay, the other thing that goes on the 17th is that the moon and your rising, they start to square Jupiter and the North Node in your 5th. Not only is it a very good day for career, but it's this dual theme that's been ongoing here. It's about also being able to express your true feelings when it comes to romantic, loving relationships. So you're going to be the person who brings the other person flowers, or who says, I love you, or who's able to express those kind of really genuine, beautiful feelings that then strengthen a relationship and deepen it. The things that I don't see so far as being wonderful for you are travel and education, not because there's a risk, but just because there's other stuff going on. And spirituality, I don't think you're going to be very kind of inward looking. I think you're going to be pretty busy and active in the real world with your career, with your romantic partner. That's your main focus. There's a kite that appears on the 19th. And this is the pinnacle, this is the best day of the month for you in terms of romance and love. So if you're wanting to propose, if you're wanting to move in with someone, if you're wanting to really get to know the person in a way where you feel connected and you feel like this is something serious, the 19th is the day to do it. So have dinner, go over to the person's house, spend time with your loved ones. Not loved ones in terms of family, loved ones in terms of a romantic sense. And that is applicable for people who are already in romantic relationships. It's not such a great idea to go on dates or on blind dates with people you don't know, because you're going to have a tendency to be overly emotional and to attach too much emotional meaning to things that may not be that serious. So this is like falling in love with someone at first sight and then falling out of love with them again 6 hours later. Okay? The moon opposes Mercury and Venus on the 20th of February. And this is... I really get that you feel very supported and publicly celebrated for something that you've done in your working life. So all of these positive changes that you've been implementing are recognized on this day, and you have some sort of achievement from that. Either your boss pats you on the back, or people recognize that you've been doing a really good job and they add something to your job, which leads to other things. This is the best day for you in terms of public social acclaim. So I expect really positive things on the 20th. On the 21st, there's a grand trine, and that's in fire. And this is the same thing, really. It's about being fired up and alive about your career, and also being fired up about your life purpose. So if there has been a sense of flatness, or like you're going through the motions, you're going to feel alive on the 21st, and you'll really be in touch with what's really important to you. And sometimes, you know, we kind of get on with life, and life kind of keeps us busy, you know? Like in January, for me personally, Mercury retrograde was a killer. My ruling planet is Mercury. So the retrograde, my electricity went out. I had appliances in the kitchen explode. Well, one appliance really. It was just a mess. And that kept me busy. I had to call electricians and painters. There was no time for soul searching and thinking, am I loving my life or not? Because I was busy. So on this day, the 21st of February, your own sense of fire and passion is going to make an appearance. The full moon occurs on the 22nd. And this full moon is in Virgo, in your 5th house of romance and relationship. You've already had a good month in terms of your romantic life, but this is the best day to take action. If there's someone that you're interested in, ask them out today. If you do have something scheduled with someone new, or with someone already existing in your life, plan a day out, a meal out, spend the evening together. Be in physical proximity with someone you care about, and it will be a magical, blissful day. This is the best day for you in terms of love and romance. And it will lead places. You know, sometimes you just have a great time, but you don't know where the relationship is going or what it means. On this day, the 22nd, there'll be concrete things that fall into place. I love you so much, why don't you move in with me? You know, that kind of thing. 24th of February, The moon now conjuncts your North Node and your Jupiter in your 5th house as well. So Jupiter in the North Node, Jupiter is good luck and good fortune, and the North Node is what you're trying to achieve on a soul level. They've been sitting in that 5th house of romance all month. Okay, so romance consistent for you, but now the moon comes in and you feel very much aligned with your romantic feelings, romance, and also Virgo is an earth sign, so in a physical sense. So you're going to be, you know, spring comes early for you in terms of your sex life. So this is really a positive time for you to explore all of those areas of your life. On the 26th, there's an area of friction. Okay. And it might be that all of these changes that you've been making in your romantic life and the extra concreteness that you've been adding to it, the commitment, it may rub against something else in your life in a negative way. So, you know, if there is an ex or something who finds out about you moving in with your new partner, or if there's someone who doesn't feel like you're ready or something and has some sort of control and say over your life, they're going to be rubbed up the wrong way. So you might get a phone call or a message or someone telling you that they don't agree with everything that you're doing right now, and it's up to you to handle that the way you see fit. In terms of your motivation on this, you have acted this month in a very constructive, productive way, and you've been focusing on making things better, and you've been genuine and honest about your feelings. So I don't get that you need to apologize on this day, or you need to do a 180 and say, oh yeah, you're right, I'm so sorry. No, you haven't harmed anyone, you haven't done anything to spite anyone, and you're entitled to your actions and your feelings. So stand in your own power, be strong, and back up your decisions and your actions. There's a Grand Trine of Water on the 28th. And this is very positive for you to communicate the message in a loving, harmonious, positive way. This is the best day of the month for friends, family, work colleagues, where you can iron out any issues you may be having. And then finally, 2016 is a leap year, so we've got 29 days in February, and the 29th of February, you've got Mars and the Moon in Scorpio in your 7th house, and you may feel a little bit like someone is annoying you now. Someone's not doing what you'd like them to do. So just let that pass. Don't take any major actions on this day. It's something that you feel within, and that isn't really, you know, sometimes someone does something and it goes on and you don't like it. But then certain days you snap and you say, that's it, we're done. There might be a tendency for you to snap emotionally and to react. Don't do it. It's, again, an overreaction, and you may be sorry if you overreact on this day. So that's what I got for you for February. If you've got any questions, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. I've got a new, it's a new website. It's been redesigned. I'm really proud of it. Have a look at it. If you'd like a private reading with me, click on the readings tab, and please remember to subscribe to the channel. Have a wonderful Feb, and I'll speak to you next month.